And then next will be the presentation Indonesian Consumer Goods Market Outlook Review by Indonesia Senior Consultant for Mr. Yongki Susilo. The time, 10 minutes is yours.
Yes, okay. Good afternoon, Your Excellencies, and also honored guests. So let me proceed with the program. So thank you for inviting me. So let me share you about Indonesian market so you can better understand about the Indonesians consumers and also the behavior, etc., etc. So big opportunity for Indonesia, as has been mentioned before. Yeah. Okay. My subtitle of the presentation today is about a big country that very big in terms of the consumptions, basically. So, but it's always hard to predict about the trends, yeah. So that's why the title is Unpredictable. Okay, let me introduce you a bit about my background. So I'm at Kadin. Kadin is the Indonesian Chambers of Commerce, basically. So we are setting up a trading house. The first project will be in Australia. Okay, I used to be 27 years for working for Nielsen Company. It's a market research company for Indonesia. Yeah. All right. So I'm also part of the board expert of several associations. Yeah. So sorry. Yes. So basically, let me explain you about what's happening with Indonesia. Of course, we have a stable growth. Basically, it was higher in the past, like above 6%, but recently it's only like 5%. Okay. And however, we have been hampered by this COVID-19, but we are pretty optimistic that next year we will hit back about 5%. Yeah. However, we Indonesians believe that we can grow above 6%. Okay, so we really have to work hard. We have to collaborate with a lot of country to increase the trade, basically. Let me explain you why we were only like 5% in the past few years, basically. Number one, because of the global situations. Yeah, is the price of the coal, the CPO, and the rupiah depreciations was declining since the 2011 2013, basically. Yeah, so we are recovering actually basically a little bit in the 2016. However, we kind of having this W trend growth, basically. Yeah, we have not moving up faster than that, basically. Now the composition of Indonesian economy, like this chart here, basically. So almost like 58%, 59% contributions come from local consumptions. Okay, it's a huge on local consumptions. The second largest will be the investment, basically. Yeah. Now the later will be like government spending. Yeah, export import is very little, so that's why we need to do much more trading here, basically. Yeah. All right. So Indonesian consumer confidence actually always in the top 5 of the highest top rank, basically the global rank, basically. Yeah. But recently it was sliding down, especially during the COVID, basically. Yeah. Among, I think Asian has been very well known as the most confident consumers. Yeah. Because they seek a big future, a good future, basically. Yeah. All right. So recently, Indonesia was fell down into the 10th, basically, and the 10th of the global consumer confidence. Now, this is very important. Yeah. So in our demography, we have this what so-called low class, middle class, and upper class. Our upper class is still very small, basically. Yeah. Our historically low class has been the majority, but however, since the 2010, the largest portion is the middle class. Okay, so we divide the middle class into 3 again. Okay, the low middle class, the mid middle class, the upper middle class. Today, the majority is the low middle class. Yeah, so that's why they just shift from low class to low middle class, basically. Now we are waiting for the development of the mid middle class that will happen when the economy is growing again today. Yeah, so the demand will be different. Okay, demand will be a bit higher. Yeah, the purchase power will be higher, basically. Yeah, so we still have stages, layer of growth, basically. All right. So in terms of the age of the population, we are consist of young populations. Yeah, majority like 29% is under 15 years old. So it's a huge market for many products, basically, and for them to be big consumers in the future. Now, 70% under 40 years old. So this is a young country, basically. So this is will develop later on. Our population growth is also quite okay. Yeah, it's 1.5%, basically. So it depends on the islands basically. So Java will be the most populous one, yeah, but still have a high growth of population also, yeah, despite it's still despite its advanced island basically, yeah. Now a lot of studies show that Indonesian's market will be almost like tripled or quadrupled basically in the future. This study comes from McKinsey that project Indonesia will be almost like 2 trillion market basically, yeah. So this will be a very good market for consumer goods, yeah. So that's why a lot of consumer goods move to Indonesia to market their products basically, yeah. Now let me explain to you what we should offer to Indonesia, yeah. If we are living in 2015, that's 1 decade from 2005. So what's happening is basically the difference of the consumer purchase power. So we have a higher purchase power today than in the past. So we have to think about the future, next 10 years basically, what we have to offer. Simply is more premium products basically, yeah, because they have a higher purchase power. And you can see also about the urban populations, okay. In the past, urban was 40%, so the largest is the rural population, but today is 50-50. In the near future will be the other way around. So urban population, it means what? It means more modern people, okay. You have to create a modern products basically to them basically. The trend, yeah, the trend will be from price into more lifestyles basically, yeah. So well, there will be a big consumptions in the future. Now let me explain to you about what is premium. So our middle class is much different from the middle class in developed country like United States or Western country. No, it's different, okay. So okay, so basically in the past, because of the switch from low class to the mid class, so it's the different cars, okay. So the cars like 100 to 150 million rupiah, but today the one that boom is above that class basically. So it's between 200 to 300 million rupiah basically. So it shows that the people is moving up into the next level of consumptions, okay. Same with the coffee, used to be cheap sachet coffee, but today is a lifestyle coffee, yeah. So everybody is creating the next premium. So you have to remember, if you want to market, you have to create the next premium, but with the price of affordable. It's not cheap, it's not expensive basically, yeah. Okay, so you have to understand about the 4 pillars, the 4 fundamental forces of changes in Indonesia. Number 1, changing face of the consumer, yeah. So it's a higher income middle class, the trend, yeah. And then woman explosion, so husband and wife working, more money in the household basically. Millennials, but today we are not talking about millennials anymore, we're talking about Gen Z. Gen Z is the largest population today in Indonesia and also the world basically. So we have to learn about their consumption and behavior. Number 2 is basically pattern of personal consumption. They demand convenience. They demand health and wellness basically. High brands, so you have to create good brands to them. It's a bit lifestyle, yeah. Shift in discretionary spending, more money towards yeah, non commodity basically, yeah. However, yeah, only during 2020, so everybody focus on commodity basically, focus on the most important, which is foods basically, yeah, basic foods. But later, supposedly next year basically, after we find solutions on the COVID-19, they're going back into the normal trend basically, yeah. Now in terms of retail, they are focusing on shopping experience, yeah. You know the experience, yeah, five human sensory basically. Now technology, now this is a very important role basically. So Indonesia moved into mobile world digital, yeah, profile basically. They are a big player in terms of social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, and then Instagram, YouTube, then etc. So when you want to market, you have to use that social media, yeah. Is driving the consumptions, okay. Like I said before, urbanization, yeah, urbanization means the semi-urban becoming urban basically. So there will be more urban cities in Indonesia basically. So that also give a different a challenge, yeah, in terms of distribution basically, yeah. Now that's why when you want to enter Indonesia, you have to work out with so-called distributors. So okay, so it's very important rules. These distributors basically pick the right distributors that fit your products basically, food, non-food, and etc. etc. Now I also want to stress to you that this is the reality that we are moving from a quantity and price orientation consumers into quality and experience. Okay, we are living the conventional way, like department stores, hypermarket, mini market, street market, etc., etc. They have to evolve or revolve, basically. Yeah. Now we are in the red area right now today, where we see that malls are mushrooming. Yeah, malls are growing very fast in Asia. It's a lifestyle. Okay, consumer durables, gadgets, etc., etc. Sports is not for healthy healthness for Indonesia. Sport is a style. They buy things expensive way to show their friends, group, etc., etc. Okay, lifestyles, fashion, culinary is huge, basically. So you will find variety good restaurants today. Yeah, we are going into the next stage, but we are still far away. Okay, luxury brands, etc., because the segment is still small, basically. So remember, you have to provide a quality product and wrapped with experience, basically. Yeah, to have a success or fast success, basically. Now this is what I collected during the years, basically. The purchase power, GDP per capita, basically we are at 4,000 today. We supposedly 2020 we should be in the 6,000 US dollar per capita, but we got stuck basically in the last 4 or 5 years, basically. Yeah, but I'm sure that the years ahead we are moving again. So we are moving from supply driven market into market driven. You have to understand marketing, and the future will be what I call imagination driven. You have to create you have to realize the imagination of the consumers, yeah, to be success, basically. So okay, now this is the behavior. If you want to distribute Indonesians to Indonesians about on FMCGs, basically, hypermarkets, supermarkets, mini markets, we call it modern trade, basically. So mini market is the one that boom in Indonesia. So proximity retail, their location is very close to the residential area, yeah, close to the consumers, basically. Now traditional stores, 3.5 million traditional stores in Indonesia, huge. So still dominant in Indonesia, basically, for FMCG. Yeah, wet market. This is for fresh vegetables, meat, fish, etc., etc. So still huge. Yeah, traditional wet market here. But the next evolution will be the vegetable vendors. So this is a vendors that are going around within the complex of the housings, basically. Yeah, so much convenient for the working mothers, basically. Yeah, so the share of modern market is only about 30%, and then the rest is about general trade. Now you ask me about what about e-commerce? E-commerce is still small here, basically. Okay, still small. So I don't want for you to bet a lot on the e-commerce, basically, for FMCG. Okay, FMCG is for the lifestyle product, basically. Now in terms of regional, I show you here, basically. So the largest population is the largest consumption will be Java. So if you want to go Indonesia, attack West Java first. Okay, that's the largest population. Okay, after West Java, then you go to East Java, because East Java is also the hub for the East Indonesia, basically. Yeah, then you go to Mid Java, basically. Once you already dominate the Java, that's already a huge market, basically. Then you go to the next neighboring islands, which is Sumatra. Then you go to Kalimantan. Yeah, the rest will be go to East Indonesia. East Indonesia is one of the most growing one also, because the president of Jokowi also put special attentions to put East Indonesia in a high gear of growth, basically. Yeah. Okay. Now somebody asked me about, what about online? About e-commerce? E-commerce only huge on the lifestyle, not for FMCG, basically, because we already have a sophisticated distribution for FMCG. Yeah, 3.5 million of stores distributed every day, basically. Yeah, so we don't need e-commerce, basically. Yeah. Now if you want to sell fashion, you want to sell electronics, we sell health and beauty, mom and baby products, home and living, then you can go to e-commerce. The share of e-commerce in this area is probably about 3 to 4%. Yeah, so it's still small. Yeah, it's growing fast. It's still small, but that's why offline is still important factor in Indonesia. So you have to be able to penetrate Indonesian market with the offline. Yeah. Now this is my last chart, almost like my last chart. Indonesia's consumptions and retail, basically, we have a seasonal, yeah, a cycle in every year, basically. The beginning of the year usually is the lowest growth, basically. Why? It's the rainy season. Okay, so it's discouraged people to go out and then buy things, things like that, basically. And it's the beginning of the year, so the mother are concerned. They have to save money to pay for the schools of their children, basically. Yeah. Now Idul Fitri. Idul Fitri is the highest peak of Indonesian retail. So we really have to work hard to achieve sales target basically in Idul Fitri, because sometimes the share of sales in Idul Fitri is about 30% of the year sales basically. Yeah. Now after Idul Fitri usually is slow down. Okay, people running out of the money, most of the money basically. But then it's picking up again. Okay, set up a new standard, a new stage for the next year basically. So the rest of the year it should be a good growth basically. Yeah. All right. I was talking about Indonesia, yeah, the market of Indonesia basically. So it's very huge, young, and attractive, and is moving. Okay. Now we also producers of huge product basically. So we, Kadin, at the Chambers of Commerce, we are setting up a online B2B and also an offline later on basically. So we are ready to trade, yeah, because Indonesia is one of the coffee capital. So we will have a big and attractive catalogs of coffee and chocolates basically. Yeah, we are also offering spice luxury. We are having best quality spice ready to trade basically. Yeah, infinity. So we almost like infinitely have a tea products basically, yeah, from west to east basically, and also maritime basically, yeah, ocean treasures. We have seafoods, yeah, we have a lot of things basically. But also don't forget that, you know, we are moving into fashions, the creative economy basically. So we also have plenty of manufacturers and designers of fashion and shoes, and also woodcraft, furnitures, etc., etc. So these are really, yeah, for to be our inspiring catalogs basically to the world, yeah, basically. So hopefully with this almost very short presentation, you have a picture of Indonesians, a deep picture how to trade basically. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Yongki Susilo.